This is episode 96 of I Know What You Watched Last Week. I am Josh Hartnett's younger brother, and we are going back to the 80s. Yes, Sayonara, 2005, 6, 2004. Back to the good stuff.
What, the 80s?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and one of these has more than one title, doesn't it? So you'll have to enlighten me.
It's got 3.
It's got 3 titles.
Yeah.
Woo! So we started the week with... Wait, I'm completely blanked already.
Demonoid.
Oh yeah, Demonoid. Then we moved on to the title that has 3 names. I know it as Slasher.
No.
No?
Blood Rage.
Blood Rage.
Yeah, even though Slasher comes across the screen and there's no mention of Blood Rage, this is Blood Rage.
Blood Rage.
Yeah, you gotta imagine how many slashers there are. I know there's a TV show called Slasher, Canadian one. It's pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, what did we watch then?
Finally, we went back to the original of a sequel we've already reviewed. We watched The Mutilator.
Yes, the one and only Mutilator. Not number 2. So, what are your rankings?
Okay, I'm gonna go with 3rd place, quite easily, to The Mutilator. Second place, I'm gonna go with Demonoid. And so first place goes to Blood Rage.
Bottom place, Demonoid. Second place, The Mutilator. And top, Blood Rage.
Blood Rage.
Yeah, but I've got to say number 1. So we'll go in my order. And we're going to start with Demonoid, which had such a cool poster, man. It was the devil standing on a rock holding his sword in the air. And there was a hand coming out of the grave. And there were 2 women in like golden bikinis. There was an eye. And I was like, what are we in for here? Demonoid. And what we're in for, it opens with what I thought was 2 members of the Ku Klux Klan attacking a lady and pinning her against the wall, revealing her gargantuan breasts. I mean, those are a pair to look out for, certainly.
I did think having breasts like 5 seconds into the film was going to set the tone, but it really didn't.
Yeah, I really thought it was going to be bosom fest.
It wasn't.
But it all went downhill from here.
So take your fill.
Erica Colson got them out, and we are all grateful, I'm sure. But it turns out it wasn't the Ku Klux Klan, it was just 2 guys in robes, and Erica Colson's hand had been possessed by the demon, the devil, so they cut it off, and it runs away. That's a prologue, I think it was supposed to be like 300 years ago, something like that. Now we're in modern day, and we're introduced to Jennifer. She's got a husband called Mark, who's working in a mine in Guanajuato, Mexico.
Yeah.
And Jennifer is talking to little Pepe. Little Pepe is going to take Jennifer to the mine to see her husband. And Pepe also lets Jennifer know, because Jennifer hasn't seen Mark, her husband, in a while, because he's too busy working. And Pepe explains to her why. He's like, well, a mine is a lot like a lady. Once it gets you in the hook, it will not let go. And I think that's quite true, because you can compare a woman to a lot of things, like an onion. You know, peel the outer layer and get to the middle that makes you cry.
Okay, I wasn't sure where you were going with
Ladies
that
look
one.
like a fridge. You just got to make sure they're not too frosty and fill them up on the regular. Yeah, so Pepe takes Jennifer to the mine, and all the workers are like on strike there because they're saying like you've dug too deep into the mine. And there's a curse, but of course Mark doesn't listen to this. Also, Jennifer's like, well, now I get to go down to the mine with my husband alone. What a minx. What a minx.
How long have they been separated? Probably for a very long time.
Seems like it.
But I don't know if I'd want to go down to make love in a mine. That doesn't seem very nice.
When they get down there, it's kind of treacherous. Jennifer thinks all the falling rocks might be something to do with the curse. And they come across a torture chamber, hundreds of years old, and they quickly look around the torture chamber before Mark falls through the floor and he comes out onto the other side into like a demonic altar. But Jennifer doesn't have to slide down the hole because there's a ladder for Fair Lady for Mark to put up for her. I think it'll look much more fun just to slide down the hole
Yeah,
into
agreed.
the next bit. And all
Especially to fall into a man's arms.
yeah, that's what she's looking for. And all the devil statues are around, and they've all got missing hands.
Yeah.
They've all got missing hands, and Mark comes across one of the hands, and he takes it. It's in his own little hand tomb as well.
It's like a little
hand-shaped
metal
tomb.
hand case.
It was a good set, I thought. Still,
Yeah.
you know, I've had gargantuan titties, Pepe, and now the torture chamber with all the devils and stuff. This is looking great. And also, when at the beginning, I failed to mention as well, much like the poster, when the Ku Klux Klan are chopping off Erica Colson's hand, it's cut in with lightning and the devil standing on his rock holding his sword in the air like He-Man. I was like, this is going to be so cool. It's going to be so cool. That devil's from the poster. And she must be one of the golden bikini ladies. There's going to be way more of them. So then they come up to the surface. Mark and Jennifer are like, look, you've just taken a hand out the tomb that you think is cursed. Don't worry about it. But all the workers are like, no.
That's
now,
the last straw,
now
isn't
you've
it?
gone and done it. Mark and Jennifer go home. Mark realises he's going to be financially ruined with no workers. But, you know, fair lady's there for a reason. She soothes him with a surprise bottle of champagne.
Let me soothe you.
Yeah. Let me touch you.
That wouldn't work because you hate champagne, but...
Yeah, I do hate champagne. I've had really crap stuff and I've tried some pretty good stuff and it's all swill to me.
You heard it here.
Yeah. Probably shouldn't have given him that champagne because he starts taking it too far and he gets absolutely hammered, doesn't he? She goes to bed by herself and while he's walking around the house hammered, he comes across the hand tomb,
Yeah.
but it's just sand. So there's just loose sand in the hand tomb.
Yeah.
He goes to bed, literally falls into bed in all of his clothing, which he's been down in the mine wearing.
So gross.
And she cuddles up to him. She doesn't care.
Ugh.
She's just happy to see her man. And
That's true love.
what's coming? The hand.
The hand. I think it was because the hand had been in there so long that it had mummified to the point where it was just dust, disintegrated. And then we see the dust kind of reform this old hand, don't we?
Like
before it
Sleep
attacks.
Stalker. The Sandman that comes back to avenge his sandy death. Good film. So the hand is making its way up Jennifer. She wakes up and screams, yeah, per hand.
She liked it first.
Doesn't get too far though. Yeah, she thinks it's Mark
Ooh.
in his dirty dregs of an outfit. Mark wakes up and the hand decides to attack Mark, so it's that kind of thing.
This is the kind of acting I love to see.
The hand possesses Mark. Yeah, so this is acting you love to see, eh?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
When you've got a scene where as an actor you've got a prosthetic hand and you have to somehow wrestle with it as if it's got real power. I mean, that's just got to be brilliant to watch every take.
They did it to its pinnacle in Evil Dead 2, clearly. And possibly because it is also 1981, the year that The Hand with Michael Caine was released. And it's exactly the same thing as Michael Caine against a hand. And he's bringing gravitas to it. I think it's even directed by Oliver Stone. So like pretty big stuff. So yeah, now he is possessed. The next day she wakes up, he's not there. He's back at the mine. And what's he doing? Apparently, according to Pepe, he's forced all the miners back down into the hole and he explodes it and traps them all in there. So of course he's going to be in a bit of trouble. So where'd you go? Vegas, baby, to the Sands Casino. And with his possessed hand, he's winning, round after round, hand after hand. Ladies become interested because when you're in Vegas and you're hot on the table, there's always going to be one lonely lady who's like done up to the nines who notices and says, hey, you new in town, that kind of thing. And that's what he's getting. But it's going to be all wrecked because Jennifer's on her way. Going to spoil her man's great time.
Well, I'm pretty sure the woman who was like, hey,
Vegas
was actually sent in by the casino to try and,
Oh yeah, they're always
him
at
out.
it, aren't they? Yeah. But heat is heat. Heat is heat.
She likes a little bit.
Of course, this is Mark, so no stranger to getting hammered. He's obviously getting hammered in Vegas, and as he leaves the casino, he's popped on the head, chucked into a car, and taken to some undisclosed location where there's a male and female captor, and they've got him strapped to a gurney or whatever, a metal table or something like that.
Even the devil's hand can't fight against the straps holding it down.
Yeah, but he does. He manages to escape. And he kills the woman captor with his devil hand. And so far, when we've seen the hand kill someone, what it does is it grabs hold of your face and just scrunches it.
Pulls all the flesh off and stuff, though, doesn't it?
It pulled the flesh off, I believe, one time. That was one cool bit. The rest of the time, it's just kind of like really aggressively hanging onto your face.
Yeah.
Mark grabs a machete after killing these two, and he tries to chop off his own hand. Doesn't manage it, so then
The hand keeps moving itself, obviously. So again, brilliant acting opportunity.
and so then Mark, with the possessed hand, he gets some gasoline, pours it all over himself, and the hand sets him on fire, and then we see the hand running away to possess its new possessee.
Not because the hand is immune to fire, it buries itself to avoid the flames.
Yeah.
It's important to note.
Jennifer's wondering about the whereabouts of Mark now, so she starts going around, I guess, Vegas, I suppose, asking where is he. And they all say, like the experts, that the body was burnt beyond recognition, so we can't actually tell you if it was Mark or not. So she goes to the grave, I believe, with the priest.
Right.
The priest, does she go?
Yeah,
with?
there is a priest.
Yeah, Father Cunningham. They go to the grave that supposedly had Mark in it, but before they go there, we're shown a shot, if you remember, of the grave exploding and Mark jumping out of it like some kind of mutant.
Yeah. Brilliant.
That was cool. So that is what has actually happened to the grave. It's exploded and he's jumped out.
I don't
Jennifer,
understand why, but
Jennifer and Father Cunningham, while they're at the grave, Father Cunningham says, "Oh, the grave has been desecrated."
Yeah.
Jennifer says, "No, there's been an explosion and someone's jumped out of it."
See, the boards of the coffin have been broken from the inside out.
She can tell that it's been an explosion, that someone has jumped out of it, not just popped out of it.
What, you're saying she couldn't,
crawled
she's
out
a
of it,
woman?
climbed out of it, and I'm just saying it's a very weird thing to know just by looking at a grave. After I had this kind of argument, it's nighttime. Officer Leo, he arrives at the gravesite, gets out of his car, starts looking around. Then all of a sudden there's a beep from his squad car, so he stops looking at the graves, runs back to his car, and there's some like burnt person hanging out of the front door, trying to get in. The hand attacks Officer Leo. He gets his turn at that.
Well, it's much better to be a cop than a burnt out corpse if you're the hand of the devil.
I suppose so. So now obviously he's possessed. Next day he goes to the boxing gym.
Yeah.
Father Cunningham is also in there. Father Cunningham is pretty handy on the bag. Leo spots him, they have a little conversation. He says, "How about I get you a sparring partner?" Cunningham's a bit trepidatious. He's like, "I haven't been in the ring for a while." Leo's like, "Don't worry about it." He looks around, doesn't see anyone worth Cunningham's while. Says, "Get in the ring with me." So now it's the hand of God versus the hand of the devil. Who's going to win? I bet it's on pay-per-view. I'd pay to see that. The hand of the devil quickly makes mincemeat of Father Cunningham, who takes a knee, but before they can carry on, Leo catches a glimpse of Father Cunningham's crucifix.
Right.
It's kind of, his eyes go, it's a crucifix, and backs out. Father Cunningham though goes back to Jennifer, because this has been a bit of an experiment.
Yeah.
And he says, even though I've just been annihilated in the ring, it's my opinion that Leo's hand, or Leo himself, does not possess superpowers. There's nothing wrong with the hand. Jennifer doesn't agree. She's like, I'm going to be at motel whatever until we take this hand down.
Hey. He's a priest.
Don't get it.
She invited him to the motel.
She didn't invite him. She just told him where she's going to be staying.
Well, isn't that the same thing?
It's just a bit like The Exorcist, because you've got a woman who's desperately trying to convince anybody that there's a possession. And you've got the priest who needs full proof before he will commit to the case.
At all like The Exorcist, unfortunately.
Was it woefully misguided of the director to take this thing super seriously?
Yes.
Because even though it's really funny, I wouldn't say really funny. Funny. If you're a tolerant genre hound, you know, it's probably worth watching for that reason alone.
I mean, you tell me 80s, you tell me vaguely what the story's about. I think I'm in for a treat. But it was just not.
It was
very
quite
good.
boring.
Yeah.
It should have been way more entertaining. Then maybe it needed a little bit of Michael Caine. So as Jennifer's about to leave, she gets to her car. Officer Leo's waiting, and she thinks it's going to be a friendly conversation because they've met previously. But then Leo's like, "No, I believe your car is stolen," and he arrests her under duress somewhat. Pops her in the car, drives her to a doctor, takes her into the doctor's office, comes through the front door and announces, "If you don't chop off my hand, I'll kill you." Delivered like that.
Yeah, it seems...
That's a great line.
It seems
just
like
out of nowhere.
It seems like the devil's hand is trying desperately to get to... What's her face? The woman.
Jennifer.
Like, that's the whole point. He's trying to get to Jennifer.
Yeah.
Doesn't do a very good job considering he's Satan's hand.
I'd have to disagree
Do you think?
bit later on, yeah. So after this demand, chop off my hand or I kill you, Doctor.
Yeah.
Doctor or Leo ties up Jennifer into a chair. Leo is about to be prepped, but he says, no, I don't want any anaesthetics, any painkillers. So they have this kind of like very thin blade / laser, I couldn't really tell. And it starts going through his wrist, and Leo just like, oh. It seems like just mildly irritating rather than like you're chopping off my hand.
I'm pretty sure you'd pass out from the pain or close to. Maybe vomit.
They amputate that. Father Cunningham goes to Bungalow 7 at the inn where Jennifer is supposed to be, doesn't find her, so he goes to the hospital. The possessed hand, after it's been cut off for Leo, then shoots a nurse, attacks Leo again and scrunches his face. So when you get scrunchy face, that's when you're dead. Then the hand possesses the Doctor. He attacks Jennifer and he drugs her, but luckily for her, Cunningham arrives just in time and saves her from the Doctor, who drives off. Then they drive off, Cunningham and Jennifer, with the cops in hot pursuit. And now it's like an episode of like Starsky and Hutch or something. Let's not forget this is the 80s, and it's like a high-speed chase. Cars are literally flipping down the road, turned upside down and screeching down the tarmac. I mean, this was exciting. Yeah. The possessed Doctor manages to jump onto the side of a train. It's like Mission Impossible. It's like Tom Cruise. He's on the side, like Tom Cruise. On the side of a high-speeding train, but there's like an electric pylon, and he gets falls off of it.
It's like Looney Tunes.
And when he falls to it is like Looney Tunes. And when he falls to the floor, the train's going, and he puts his hand underneath the wheels. Yeah. It's quite fun to see how everyone tries to get rid of their own hand.
Yeah.
In this, and obviously it's decapitated, and we see the hand hitch a ride on the train.
Pretty committed to stick your arm under a train. I also would say, if you're not into needles, then the scene where the Doctor puts the medication in her was quite funny.
If you're not a heroin addict, because who's into needles?
Yeah, I did realise when I said that it came out wrong. If needles scare you, then that's a good scene. That's what I should have said.
Wherever Jennifer and Cunningham have driven off to after this high-speed chase, wherever they are, considering the hand has caught the train, I'm not sure where this train is due for, but it manages to find itself in the same place where Cunningham and Jennifer are. And it's in this it's in the church. It's in this church. So the hand lets itself into the basement, and guess what? All the power goes off, all the phone lines go down, and there's an ominous shot of a swinging chandelier, and at a religious altar, a flying cloth. Like a ghost. Pretty underwhelming stuff. A levitating sheet. They find the hand on the floor. They start walking around the basement because like all this noise starts happening. And there's a statue of Jesus there.
Yeah.
And they notice that the Jesus hand is cut off. And as they go to look to the floor, the real hand comes out and it flies at Cunningham. And it's attacking Cunningham for a while. He's got the hand on his face.
I mean, Jennifer was right there.
We get some great acting by Jennifer. She's on the floor. She's like, no, not him. Take me. Like, you know,
well, you don't think she was really selling it?
This is supposed to be panic stations. Cunningham manages to fight off the hand and it turns to dust. It turns to dust, but then Cunningham, he's kind of like goes evil and he says, this hand wasn't meant for me. It was always meant for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it has possessed him.
Now I must kill you. So the hand is good at sticking around Jennifer. I'm saying it's caught the train to where Jennifer is.
Jennifer was right there. Instead of going for Cunningham, couldn't it have gone straight for her?
No, because you've got to dispose of all the men first, because this is 1981. A little lady's not going to be able to fight off the devil's hand by herself. So that's what the devil's thinking. The devil is sexist. This is common knowledge. So now that Cunningham's possessed, there's a stained glass window kind of thing which he's just conveniently standing next to. And I think he just punches his hand through it. Or is it forced through by something else?
I don't remember, but I do recall it being through the cut glass bits.
Yeah, he's put it through the stained glass window. And for some reason, Jennifer comes towards him and almost starts licking his palm.
Yeah.
And he's about to bring down a knife or a pickaxe or something down onto her head, but he misses it. Goes into his own possessed hand. And then he says, bring me the blowtorch. So she finds a blowtorch, gives it to him, and he just starts burning his hand off. And that's the end of the possessed hand.
Yeah, he stabbed it in there on purpose so that it wouldn't be able to get out again, so that he could burn it. But
so he momentarily became Father Cunningham again.
To do that, I think,
so that's like The Exorcist. Remember at the end
when he throws himself out.
Yeah, and he briefly changes. Yeah.
But again, when you're saying all this stuff like a hand being ripped off by a passing train, a guy blowtorching his hand off, all of this stuff. It sounds great, but it just didn't deliver, and it probably is partly down to the reactions. There was not enough pain.
Yeah, I was going to just say to you, what is wrong with it? Anything else apart from that? Apart from the acting? Because you could even say, yeah, the storyline is fine, the way it's written, the places we go, what happens, but there's something that just isn't quite working here.
No, I think it's a combination
to
of
make
everything.
It amazing.
They're just the atmosphere didn't feel right.
No.
It
didn't.
It was
Apparently,
just a bit flat.
The director has done comedy before, so he either goes like full hand comedy, or just like completely takes out the comedy and says, "I'm doing horror now."
Yeah.
So I can't remember if he'd probably melded the two. It would have worked out a lot better. It's not quite the end of the film because now they're on a boat, and Jennifer's like, "Thank God, it's all over." Famous last words.
Yeah, of course.
She gets back home now off the boat. There's a knock at the door. It's a package. She opens up. Some soggy leaves and a bong. She's probably ordered this from Amazon. So this bong...
It did look like a bong.
It was a bong.
It wasn't a bong.
This bong turns out to be a self-lighting candle. Because the hand, I think, comes through... Oh, no. The hand flies out of a sink in the kitchen, attacks Jennifer, and she falls through a glass table. And that's just one other half-decent bit of gore when we see her face all cut up. And that's the end. But yeah, soggy leaves in a bong. What were the soggy leaves supposed to signify? Because also, before she opens the pack, there's a soggy leaf on the floor already in the apartment.
Actually, wait, I feel like that's something to do with, like, the demise of the hand. Maybe the environment was all leafy. I don't know. But I feel like there was some sort of slight purpose to that. I just can't recall it.
Was it important?
No.
No, clearly not. Maybe it was art. Could have been art. So Demonoid poster completely missold me. Really annoying. So it's because it started so well that it just went like downhill after that. More and more and more. So Demonoid, like I say, watch it if you're a tolerant genre fan. Number 2, for me, for both. No, you put it bottom, didn't you? You put it bottom. This is the one movie we watched this week which is kind of considered at least a cult classic. You get the word classic in its description. Mutilator from 83 but wasn't released until 87.
I was more entertained by Mutilator 2, if I'm being honest. At least that one was funny with the ineptitude.
This wasn't funny with the ineptitude.
I wasn't that engaged.
This was stark ravingly bad.
Yeah.
Right, Mutilator, young Ed. We've got young Ed because we've got Ed later on in it. It's a prologue again. Ed shoots his mum at home through the back. On, I think, his father's birthday. Mm-hmm. So then the dad comes home, slaps Ed about a little bit, and then just starts drinking Jack Daniels with the corpse, and puts his birthday message on it. People were saying this is just totally random. I was thinking, is he trying to save his boy from a murder charge by saying, "Oh look, my wife has gone nutty because she was drinking too much, so I'm going to put this down her throat so that she smells of alcohol when the police come and investigate," and she's also left this message on herself, this happy birthday message.
That's really interesting.
Or am I just reading am I giving them far too much credit?
I'm a little bit worried about the way your mind is working.
Oh no, this is the only part where I thought, they could have put some real thought into this, and I'm not sure if they have, and then it became... Maybe for the rest of the film, it should become clear to me they're just done it by accident.
Mind you, what you said
stupid.
makes no sense because she was shot through the back. I don't think anyone could do that to themselves.
In 1981, do they, is there enough evidence-based technology that they can say, oh, this has clearly gone through the back?
I think also because he shot through a wall before, so there's a big hole in the wall. So yeah.
This is a 1980s slasher movie,
I don't
though.
think you are right, but
You're
it's interesting to know
cops.
that you would think about how to cover up the murder.
It's because, I do this thing, which other writers don't do these days, is that when I write a page, I'm always thinking about like what's behind this, what's behind that. And no one else seems to do that.
Why would you do that?
Why would you make your film rich? So yeah, that's how so that's happened. We are now into the future. Into the future, there are like 3 dudes, 2 girls sitting at a diner table, and Ed, now all grown up, he gets a call at the diner, and it's a message from his dad through an intermediary that he has to come to his father's condo and shut it down for the winter because currently it's the fall. So everybody's going on a fall break, a fall break. What is the music in this?
Oh, I loved it because you'd seen this before me and we watched it together, and every single time a tune came on, I started boogieing because it was just so wrong. You just go around incongruous music. Because we had some tunes that were like a romance, young teens coming of age romance. We had something like Breakfast Clubby. It was just so random.
This is what film. A lot of people do when they're making independent horror, especially now. Is Buddy Cooper, who made this film, bless him, he's gone out and he's made a fully self-financed independent movie, but he doesn't really know much. He knows some things about the horror genre, but he doesn't know everything about the horror genre, and it's almost like he's gone, right, we're making a movie, we need music in the movie, because movies have music, and he's just like, listen to the first thing, he's like, yeah, that's music, let's put it in our movie, without thinking about what it does to the tone, or, how little it does for the tone. And he's also realised that, this is a film, I've written characters, so I'm going to have them with spiel. I need to write a thing called dialogue, and the dross that comes out of these actors' mouths, it would be unforgivable. It wasn't for the saving grace of this film, which is the gore.
Weren't you also just feeling those relationships, the romantic relationships? You could tell they were real, couldn't you?
Yeah, that was probably the thing I was most buying without buying it, because I wasn't really even thinking about it, because I was more just concentrating on especially the lads in this film, their performances. Something else. So after Ed gets his call, he sits down back at the table and he tells his friends, that was a message from me to go and shut down my father's condo. And there's a couple, it's Linda and Mike. And Linda says, well, Mike's not going to help you tidy up because he needs to save his energy. For what? What does he need to save his energy for?
You know.
I do know.
You know.
And then now there's going to be 4 days of R&R at the beach, and now the credits come up and we're back with a far break, and when the credits do come up, everyone's being listed, and then it says special appearance by Ben Moore as cop. Special appearance.
Is this somebody I should be more aware of?
Well, the way that he's introduced, it seems like it should be. Is Kader in the shot right now, climbing all over my arm?
I think so.
At the condo.
If not, that's a miss.
Ed is now telling stories about his dad inside. And there just happens to be a missing battle axe from the wall.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, don't worry.
His prized battle axe.
My dad's just probably taken his battle axe with him wherever he is, because, never...
That's what you do.
Never leave home without your battle axe.
Also, I was going to say, when you said, they will go for some R&R at the beach, they were complaining a second before that they had no plans for this, break time, full break. And so when the guy gets the call about closing his dad's beach place,
Ed.
He's like, I'm not going to do it. But his friend's like, hang on, we can spend some holiday time fixing up the house. What is this? It's like some sort of theme from old school movies where they just go and fix places up for
Except
fun.
Mike, he's not going to lift a finger because he needs to give the good love to Linda. Pam, one of the ladies who's in this group of 6, she says about the battle axe, well, I think we should call the police because I think it's a bit weird that there's a battle axe missing from your house. And Ed's like, nah, I'll just check with my dad first and I'll sure everything's cool. So that's settled. And now that it is settled, Linda can get back to the important question of where are the bedrooms. Mike is going to be put to work this weekend, isn't he? Ed's nutty father, it turns out, is sleeping outside. And he's hugging his battle axe like a teddy bear.
Yeah, what the hell? Why?
He's also having dreams about battle axing and shooting his own son.
Yeah.
So I think there might be some unresolved issues there
Do you think?
From Ed shooting his wife dead.
Probably.
Linda and Mike, then, they go off to search the garage for no reason I can tell whatsoever, apart from to show off the wooden sharp spikes sticking out the wall. And what are those? I also think they've gone to the garage just because Buddy Cooper's like, right, I want to put a plier scene in here.
Yeah.
Where are pliers kept? And I was like, I guess a garage.
In the bedroom. Oh,
so the pliers are there. Mike sees these pliers and like, hey, and he undoes Linda's fly with his pliers. End scene.
So stupid.
Do you reckon Linda liked that? I reckon she did. The way she's been talking.
Well,
Time for dinner now. Mike and Linda are now frolicking in the surf. They've searched the garage. Now they're frolicking.
At 9.
More incongruous music. Like the score is now just completely out of place.
Very enjoyable.
Yeah, there's brain rot dialogue. It's just unfathomably bad. And they're also being spied on. You know, we get the point of view camera because they're being naughty. The others, Buddy Cooper's like, right, well, while they're frolicking and searching around, what can I have the people in the house do? What do people do? Play Monopoly. I mean, this is like 7-year-old's first story, isn't it?
Just because you don't like to play Monopoly doesn't mean that, you know, a young group of teens on their autumn break wouldn't want to. Fall break, sorry.
During their little Scooby-Doo search, garage, the sea, they now end up an indoor swimming pool. It's a bit murky. And Mike says, don't worry about it. It's probably just the chlorine, and that prevents herpes. Maybe he's had to say that out loud because he's afraid, or that he knows that Linda's been putting it about a bit. So he's just saying it out loud to himself. Like, even if I go bareback in this pool with Linda, I'm not going to get herpes because there's loads of chlorine.
That bit just reminded me of a certain president recommending the use of bleach for other...
Oh, yeah, other good things. Yeah, it works for loads of things, bleach. They then strip completely nude to, once again, completely misplaced music. And they go about and have a swim while the rest of them are now out on the beach. 35 minutes in, finally get a pair of breasts because Linda is floating in the pool on her back.
That's what Johnny always timestamps in movies.
35 minutes titty. While she's floating about in the pool, let's not forget, Mike is also in the pool. It's only them two in the pool. Linda is now pulled underneath the water. Mike's oblivious to this. The killer's clearly got her. He takes her all the way over to the ladder, flings her over his shoulder, climbs up the ladder, and just casually leaves the swimming pool. And then Mike's like, Linda? Linda?
Yeah,
again, what is this?
it was because she did that whole
It's cretinous.
chase me thing to him. And so
It carries on.
He keeps diving under the water for some reason because that's going to help him find
Yeah,
her.
but he would have his eyes open under the water. It's not like he's going to be
I
looking
don't
for
know,
her with
there's
his eyes
a
open,
lot
with his
of
eyes closed.
chlorine in there.
But it prevents herpes, so herpes won't get into his eyes if he opens them.
Oh.
Mike is now walking about. Now he's noticed that Linda's gone missing from the pool. He gets his chance to shine. For some reason, like, someone should have had a word with Buddy Cooper and been like, look, these 3 lads in these roles of Ralph, Ed and Mike, they are not good enough to carry the movie by themselves. Unless it's a really bad movie, which this is. And as he's walking about, he's like, oh, little game, eh? I think I'm gonna enjoy this. Mike really struggles to just talk. Walk and talk at the same time.
He was suggesting that the game involved essentially him finding pieces of his clothes. So I was like, well, it's not going to be a very fun game if the point is to get you dressed again.
Yeah, but is it his clothes? Because there's a bra on the floor. I don't think that's his bra.
No, by that point it's hers. But he's been slowly, because his clothes had disappeared from the side of the pool, and he was picking them up one by one,
Yeah, I know.
like a trail.
I was just more
So he's getting
concentrating
dressed
on him looking for hers. So the panties, he then comes across panties as well. It's
He
like,
does.
Interesting. That's what you say about panties on the floor. It's just interesting. Panties on the doorknob as well. Thankfully, you know, after him walking around, he's done away with. Because the killer comes out with like a drill thing. And really goes for his torso. And then Mike plumbs new depths of bad acting while you're supposed to be dying. It's supposed to be utterly painful. And it's like, ah. And the thing is, Buddy Cooper's decided just to linger on him.
Wasn't good that day.
He's no clue Gulaga dying in that movie we watched recently, Initiation. So yeah, it's really good effects though. See now this is the crowning glory of the movie is the gore and the practical effects. Because what they've done to Mike's torso is very skilled, but his acting is unskilled. And of course, because we've already been shown it, he's then hung up by his head on one of those wooden spikes, which him and Linda have come across in the garage. The gore is a saving grace of this film.
Yeah, you have to pay attention to every detail.
With the others on the beach, a cop questions him. You know, the special appearance by Buddy Moore
Okay.
as cop. They didn't even give him a name. He's like, why is it? How can it be a special appearance when he's just cop? It's a glorified extra. And he's talking to the teens about this missing battle axe. They bring it up to him, and he's like, well, I'll just go and check out the house. So he walks to the house, he mooches about for a bit, And he very quickly takes like a wooden stake to the side of the cheek.
Yeah.
And decimates his face, and then he's decapitated. Great decimation of his face with the stake.
Yeah. You're not wrong, the gore definitely saved this to some extent. Kind of.
Now that Mike and Linda are out, who's going to be the horn dog? 4 of them are back in the house, and Ralph, who's with Pam, Ralph wants sex. He just says it out loud, like, I want sex. Pam, like, judos his ass. Just takes him down. Owns him completely. Again, what was that?
It was great.
It was pretty great.
It was.
In a shit way.
Like Miss Congeniality.
Yeah. What? How?
Great movie. Well, you know, she takes people down. She takes men down. She takes men down.
Okay. It's time now to play Blind Man's Bluff. Now, I wasn't entirely sure what Blind Man's Bluff is as a game. So what I could glean from what I was watching and what I was hearing them say, you turn the lights out in the house, and they just walk around and grab each other. And it's rather inappropriate, I thought.
Yeah, but I thought they changed it. They ended up playing something which I know as sardines.
What? What the hell is sardines?
It's like hide and seek, but instead of one person like seeking or whatever, when you find the person who's hidden, you join them. So you're all squashed in like sardines.
That is kind of what they started doing.
That is what they did.
But what I first heard was we turn the lights off and just walk around trying to touch each other. So Sue is left inside. She's it. And the rest of them go outside to drink beer. Now this seems even more appropriate. A sober person stays inside. 3 people go outside and drink beer. They get half cut, come back in and just start trying to feel around for you. This seems like the opening games of the Epstein Island.
Well, it does that. And also, they littered. They threw their empty cans on the beach, which is unforgivable. But no, the whole point is that the one left inside hides, and the rest split up and look for her. And then you join them when they found them. But her hiding place was like the most rubbish thing I've ever seen in my life.
Under the dinner table?
No, she wasn't even under the dinner table. She got the cooler box, opened the lid, and then sat on top of the dinner table behind it. So like her whole head was still poking out from above the lid. It was ridiculous.
I think they were overthinking the writing.
And then when the people found her, they hid under the table under her because she can't even fit behind her, let alone more of them.
Ed finds them all under the table once he goes inside. So is that the sardines aspect?
Yeah, exactly, because they
found
her, they hide, and then, But I don't know why they were calling it Blind Man's Bluff, because that is a completely separate game.
Blind Man's Bluff just sounds like a place to me where you go and bad stuff
it's
happens
a game.
to you. Or pirates.
One person is blindfolded, you spin them around, and then they have to try and grab people. So I suppose it could get quite sexual. Not that that's the point.
Sexual? It sounds like a kid's game.
It is, but, you know, when you're grabbing blindly, you never know what could happen. But anyway, 2 completely separate games.
Sounds like a good adult version
Can't
to be
believe
played
you've never played it.
Let's play.
You can't play with just 2 people.
Okay, I'll just grab you then.
That's a completely different game, Johnny.
Pam starts wondering about the whereabouts of Mike and Linda, because now they've played Monopoly, they played Blind Man's Bluff, they've all grabbed each other.
And they're still not back.
Now, where's Mike and Linda? Before they go off looking, though, Pam then shuts down Ed's sexual advances in the bedroom.
Another judo takedown.
No, not judo this time, just a very stern alert, not tonight,
not
here.
They're
it's
a
like,
couple.
What a jip, what kind of a breakaway is this?
They're a couple, and again, she's like, I'm waiting for the right moment.
Is this a difference between spring break and fall break? Like, spring break, it's like girls gone wild, anything goes, and fall break is like, nah, let's just play Monopoly.
Exactly, and fix up houses.
You could at least play Twister or something.
Oh, you played that one, have you?
So that's Ed and Pam. Pam has just shut down Ed. I might have said Sue, but Pam has shut down Ed for sex. So now Ralph in the bedroom with Sue is told, you need to go outside and lock up, but he wants sex as well.
Of course he does.
Right, so to bribe him, she says, well, if you go and look up, when you get back, you'll find just what you're waiting for. Then
starts unbuttoning a bit.
Then what happens?
Oh my god. Just a horrendous moment.
Horrendous.
Of one of those effects that you've seen before when someone's really rushing, and what they do to really get that point home to the audience is they speed up the actual footage. So it's just him doing like a Albert Costello style
It is like Abbott and Costello.
I don't know what was happening.
And you've got the piano like,
Exactly.
and he leaves the door at speed and opens up one more time just to go,
Ah,
and then he's back out again.
what the hell was
They were
that?
smoking some serious shit on this set. Everyone. I reckon Buddy Cooper was smoking the most. You know, he was handing it about. He was like Shorty from Scary Movie. I'm not sure if it had taken me this long, but it's at this point I've noted that I just hate the characters. I just want them all to die.
Okay.
Well, a bunch of idiots.
I didn't even get to hate. I was just kind of meh.
Ralph
Which is
now,
almost worse.
Ralph now goes outside to look with Mike and Linda because he's been promised a little bit of action if he does this. And it's time for him to talk to himself a lot. Hey guys, where are you? Been sent outside. Stuff of that nature. I don't know if it was in the script or if he was just vamping.
I wouldn't be surprised.
He talks to himself a lot. He's pondering out loud, and then he's pitchforked through the throat. Another great kill and another great effect.
Yeah, I was thinking about the technicalities of that one and how you could do it
It was
because,
superb.
as you mentioned, self-finance. I'm assuming it was a very low budget.
Well, it wasn't. In my book, it sounds like a lot of money. $450,000. It's clearly all gone on the effects.
Yeah.
And I reckon about 200 grand on that, and Buddy Cooper's pocketed 250k. Which is a lot of money in 1981. Now that Ralph's missing, Sue goes looking for Ralph by herself. She comes back to the house and lets Ed and Pam know that she can't find him. So now they all go looking. But very, very quickly, instantly, Sue is grabbed by the killer. We think he's just going to choke her, but he saves her somewhat for something else. A little bit more special.
Ugh.
Takes her to the garage, and this was
pretty
the
grim.
coup de grace of
Yeah.
the film. The killer gets a fish hook.
Like a gigantic one.
And in between her legs it goes, protrudes through the top of it. I wasn't expecting it when I first saw it.
No.
Amazing
It went
stuff.
there.
Yeah.
It really
I
went
reckon
there.
clearly Damien Leone saw this for
Do you think?
Terrifier 1, yeah.
Well, again, it's something that a lot of people I think shy away from, and the people who do it get a lot of back talk for it. So I
Backlash.
respect that they went for it, and it works.
Without that kill, it's just your basic run-of-the-mill bad 80s. And it still is your basic run-of-the-mill bad 80s, but just with this one great set piece. Superb. And the rest of the gore was really good as well. But this one, it's only Ed and Pam left now. Ed and Pam come across all the dead bodies in different ways, like people hung up against the back of a door and stuff like this, and popping out at them. Everyone with their heads smushed on the pins, the wooden pins on the wall. The killer's coming. Ed, he locks Pam away behind a door, and she's like peeping through, and she can see the killer getting the better of
Making
Ed.
a lot of noise.
And as the killer's about to drag him off, she then jumps out, stops the killer from killing Ed. Ed gets stabbed in the leg. She's attacked by the killer, but she manages to stab him. And they run out to the car. But guess what? The car won't start. The car won't... I can't believe
if only
it.
one of them was a mechanic.
Yeah, like Linda Blair in Hell Night. Car won't start. The killer's starting to break in, and he starts to battle axe through the roof. That battle axe has come in handy. That's why he doesn't leave home without it, so that he can go through roofs of cars. He's grabbing at Ed, but fortunately, this is the 80s. So what's in your car? A car lighter, and it lights up. It does it. It warms up like that. She pops it in, takes it out, singes his face. Another good melting skin thing. But it just made me think. I was like, yeah. Remember my dad would drive me in the car. I'd be like, have a smoke in a minute, boy. Light the lighter, and I'll be like, very happy just to push the lighter in, and then pop it out and just look at the orange burning rings. Then my dad would just smoke in the car with the windows up, and he's like 7-year-old kid in the car. Good parenting.
Oh, those were the days.
Those were the days, yeah. I miss them. That's the problem with kids these days. Not enough secondhand smoke. I said it's fortunate that it's the 80s, and there's a car lighter in there. It's also fortunate the cops just show up now as well. Let the cops are here, we're saved. But the killer's on the back of the car, manages to start, and they back him in to a bunch of cinder blocks. The cops say, drive the car forward now so we can see the damage you've done. And he's completely split at the middle, and some gung-ho cop decides it's safe enough to walk up to the killer, even though he's split in half. He's still alive, and he chops off the cop's legs with his battle axe. Starts laughing. Wasn't expecting that either the first time I saw it. So at least it's good as like, wasn't expecting that, even though it's completely implausible.
Yeah. But was it this film, or was it one we watched after, where limbs kept being separated and just having a life of their own for ages?
Next one.
Okay.
Gets even better. So that's the end of the movie pretty much, after he gets his legs chopped off. And we just see then Ed and Pam recuperating in the hospital. Finn. Very sudden ending as well. I mean, what's happening to them? Where's their relationship going?
The things that Johnny wants to know.
There is,
well,
yeah.
we get Mutilator 2, so, you know.
Yeah, so you think Mutilator 2 was better than Mutilator?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's just not. Mutilator 2 just took it to... Yeah, it plumbed even more new depths.
It's so
Certainly
bad.
did. This is more like a horror film. The problem with Mutilator 2, it was just a shoddy horror film. This was of a certain standard simply because of the gore, even though it has completely misplaced music. No tone, no like build up, no suspense, anything like that. It's just the gore which is the saving grace. And I can see why it's considered a cult classic.
The line is pretty tenuous also.
Oh,
it's just there.
And
so
Demonoid, which you put above this. Demonoid.
No, the plot for that is a good idea.
Well, it's just a rip-off of Michael Caine's The Hand.
Yeah, well.
Number 1, for both of us, Blood Rage, aka Slasher, aka I've got to look it up, aka Nightmare at Shadow Woods. What's your favourite? Slasher, Nightmare at Shadow Woods, or Blood Rage? Blood Rage!
Blood Rage.
Yeah, because it also ties into what the movie's about.
Exactly.
Twins and their Blood Rage. So guess what? This one was made in 83, but not released until 87. There's always delays. Always delays going on. But it's 1974 in the movie prologue. Jacksonville, Florida. It's the drive-in movies. Remember those? I don't. We never had them here, but they used to have them in America at least. And what's happened to those? They look great.
Kind of. I mean, you're not going there to watch the movie, I guess.
Exactly. That's why it's so great. Excellent. So it's The House That Screamed Murder, which is playing, which you said made no sense.
It doesn't make sense. A house won't scream murder. When has a house ever screamed anything?
It can scream architectural genius, like without saying stuff. It can just scream that to you, you know what I mean? So the kids are getting popcorn. There's an 80s synth and drum machine score going on. It's awesome. When the kids are queuing for popcorn, some are going into the toilet. And in the men's toilet is a condom seller. You're just standing there, like surreptitiously, and he opens up his jacket, and he's got all the condoms you could desire. And even better than that is Ted Raimi, Sam's brother, in his first role ever as a condom salesman. I reckon he's hit the jackpot there, as he's not getting much better than that. Condom salesman, first role. That's something to tell your grandkids. Like I say, the driving, it looks great, because guess what? There are honeys smoking a doobie on the bonnet. There are honeys getting off with each other. There are honeys getting off with their boyfriends in the car. There are just honeys everywhere getting off with each other. And there also happens to be an older couple who are getting on with each other. And the woman is called Maddie. And she's a little bit, I'm not sure if I should be doing this. And the guy's like, hey, come on, baby. She's like, oh, okay, but maybe not, because guess what? My kids are in the back of the car. Yeah. Sleeping. He manages to convince her. You know, he gets her too wet. She gives in. The kids, they escape the back of the car. They come across some teenagers boning in their car. On the way, one of them's picked up an axe, because their names are Terry and Todd. Terry's picked up an axe. He goes and purrs on the teenagers. He's told to clear off by the teenagers, but then some glorious axing of the face. Good. Very good. And blood goes everywhere. It goes over people's popcorn, goes all over Terry.
And the girl runs nude out of the car, screaming.
Yeah, bums bouncing up and down. And Terry, the one who just axed him in the face, he turns to his brother Todd, who's catatonic, smears his face in blood, puts the axe in his hand before, a commotion can come around them. Maddie, their mother, shows up, and a bunch of people show up, and they're all looking at Todd thinking he's absolutely mental because he's got an axe in his hand. And Terry's like, Mum, Todd did it.
What a shit.
Now we're 10 years into the future. It's Thanksgiving. This is billed as a Thanksgiving movie. Doesn't show any evidence of that, really, does it? Apart from saying the word Thanksgiving out loud.
A few times.
And a turkey dinner.
The turkey was perfect.
It's Thanksgiving. Todd, in the mental asylum, is kind of getting his memory back because he's been catatonic this whole time. Maddie goes to visit him and he says, I didn't kill anybody. She gives him a pumpkin pie, which he smushes in between his hands and violently throws against the wall.
Looked like a dirty protest.
It did look like a dirty protest.
Ugh.
Yes. So the reunion doesn't go very well between Maddie and Todd. But Terry, he's living life large. He's playing touch football out in these glorious grounds on a sunny day.
Hot piece girlfriend.
He's got a honey. Mm-hmm. And also, when they're playing touch football, 2 other honeys walk by. One of them's braless. They say, hey, can we play? Terry invites him. He's like, yeah, you can play. Because he's now noticed this honey. So he's already got one honey. He's got his eyes on braless now.
They definitely billed him as, a player. Showed him as a player. And I didn't understand because the same actor plays both of the adult twins.
Mm-hmm.
And they've differentiated him with the hairstyle. And to be fair, it makes a huge difference, in my opinion. They almost look like 2 different people. He almost looks like 2 different people. But why, oh why, did they choose the horrible slick back hair for the Playboy guy and the much better suited regular hair for the psycho?
So you prefer the quiet, sensitive type over the brash,
I just prefer
type.
a guy who didn't look like he was balding.
Right.
It was a weird choice.
That's prejudice.
It is prejudice. I'm sorry.
Terry's mother, Maddie, they've got an announcement at the table, the Thanksgiving dinner table. But for some reason, braless is there. She's not part of the family. She's just shown up to play football that day, but braless is there with Terry and Terry's girlfriend and some other people. And Maddie announces that her and her boyfriend, Brad, are to be married. There's just a quick shot on Terry where he's a bit like... So I feel like he doesn't agree with this.
Yeah, he doesn't like that, does he?
No, but he does toast to the new family. And at the table, braless then says, oi, Terry, I'm babysitting tonight. Why don't you come and keep me company? Right in front of his girlfriend, Karen, who doesn't really react that much.
Although I think I was gathering they're not official. They've had a thing in the past. They've been off to college. They've come back, and she was like wondering, like, where do we stand?
Terry
kind of thing.
lets the ladies know, look,
he's
hey,
just playing.
I'll give you a go,
That
but
terrible hair.
can't lay down any roots. Can't make any promises. Yeah, but I like that. I like a ballsy woman, a sexually aggressive woman. Your girlfriend's right there, but I'm inviting you over to babysit. We know what happens in the 80s when you're invited over to babysit. There's not much babysitting going on, is there?
Yeah, I don't think I'd be too happy if I hired a babysitter and then came home and found them boinking.
If it wasn't enough for Terry that he just found out that his mum's getting married to Brad, he's then told by his mum, Maddie, that, oh, by the way, Todd has also escaped the asylum.
Oh my god, he wants to come home for Thanksgiving. What does that remind you of?
Then it gets even worse for him because he goes to his mum and dad's bedroom, or his stepfather-to-be, he opens the door, and Brad's really coming on to his mum. And he's like, oh, well, maybe she shouldn't have opened the door.
Without knocking.
Exactly.
Very rude.
She's not giving up tonight, though. Like, you just announced your engagement.
He was so pushy, though. She's like, she's got every reason to not feel like having sexual intercourse. Every reason. And she's, all stressed out and this and that. And he's just like, oh, come on, baby. Come on, honey. Just give me a little sugar. Not in those words, but essentially that's what he was doing. I did almost think that we were going to get what would today, but not then, be considered a rape scene.
Like the way your mind works. A gunman then sticks up Terry at the door, but don't worry, it's just Dr. Berman and his assistant Jackie, or her assistant Jackie. And Jackie's a man, he's the one that's holding up Terry with a gun. And like,
it's just a trank gun.
Oh, sorry, Terry. To let you know that Todd is at large. So Dr. Berman and Jackie have shown up, and it's Brad's place. It's like Brad's place of business, and he has 10 acres.
Yeah.
So it must be loaded.
He owns the housing estate that they all live on.
Yeah, 10 acres of it as well. The doc then goes looking for Todd with Jackie the gunman, and they split up. Meanwhile, Brad is in his office doing work, busy work, drinking a beer. Up behind him comes Terry with a machete. Spins round in his chair, and off comes the hand. It's all spurting everywhere. And
that looked good too.
It was good. And the hand on the floor, much like Demonoid, it's got a beer in its hand still, and it's moving.
Why did they keep doing this? They kept giving every chopped off limb the ability
Life.
to move for ages. Like, I get a little bit of, like, nerve tickling, whatever, but that was just ridiculous.
That was good though, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It was good, the hand chopping.
Also, the guy who plays the twins, his performance I thought was really good.
Oh yeah, he was exceptional. Let's get his name up. Yeah, Mark Soper, who plays Todd Terry. You can really tell a difference between Todd and Terry. He's doing completely different performances, different posture, all that kind of thing. And it does, it's an overused word these days, but it elevates the film because he's the lead of it. He carries the movie essentially because the acting around him is pretty ropey. But yeah, he brings like something to it. And guess
I thought
what?
The mum was good too.
They weren't giving him any Oscars.
Yeah.
For his dual roles.
He was. Yeah.
This is a dual
Definitely
role
better
performance.
than most dual roles I've seen.
Yeah, better than, well, let's just say it, Michael B. Jordan in Sinners.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell him apart, just Michael B. Jordan both times. In this, I could tell the difference.
But as I just mentioned...
Without different coloured hats as well.
Briefly, I really enjoyed the mum's performance as
Yeah,
well.
she was superb.
Nutty. She played it in such a convincing way.
She hasn't got an Oscar, but Gladys from Weapons has. This is a far better performance of a crazy lady, isn't it?
It's
much
fantastic.
better. That lady
it actually makes it uncomfortable sometimes, which is a great sign.
Louise Lasser as Maddie, yeah, she was superb as well. Yeah, so the two leads were absolutely brilliant. So now that Terry's chopped off Brad's hand, killed him, outside, Jackie's only just arrived, Dr. Burrow's assistant, he's been looking around for about 2 minutes, he decides it's time for a doobie break. He's been working hard.
Yeah, he's trying to lure out his bait with promise of a bit of weed.
Terry shows though, and Jackie's like, oh, Dr. Berman just told me to take it easy, so want to hit this? And Terry's like, yeah, I want to hit this. All the while he's got his hand behind his back.
With a big fat machete.
He's got a big fat doobie and a big fat machete. He pulls out the machete and straight through Jackie it goes again, nice and bloody. Then he offs him. Then he finishes off the doobie as well. One is off, so it's a
really didn't want to share.
Good day for him. He didn't want to share. No one's to kill him though, is there? Mars says this is a great little bit as well. Maddie is now sitting on the floor by the fridge, just scoffing leftovers.
Yeah, she's so. I loved the way that they really showed her nervousness, not just sitting there being like, but yeah, just shoving food straight from the fridge into her mouth. It was such a raw moment.
It was a raw performance.
And then she goes on to like cleaning and stuff, but again, she sold it so well. She was so unhinged, and you could imagine that if your twin when they were a kid went to psycho hospital because he murdered people.
I do that. I eat in the fridge.
You don't sit on the floor though.
I don't sit on the floor,
do you?
but I do open the fridge and eat.
Got a bit more
out
class
of it
than that.
Because I eat and then I think, I'm going to eat that in a minute, and then I eat that later.
I think everyone eats straight from the fridge.
You don't. You don't so much that you call me out on it. Wasting energy. Anyway, Dr. Berman is now quickly cut in half in the woods. Another superb bit. Dr. Berman slice at the middle, but his torso is also still going.
Of course.
Twitchy, twitchy, twitchy. Like Brad's hand with the beer.
You could also tell that they'd like partially buried the actress's body and then she was just at a different angle doing that. It didn't quite work.
Because Terry is split Berman in half, obviously he's covered in blood. Now we get mirroring because we get Terry kind of frantically in the shower on the grounds, washing the blood off him, cutting with Maddie just furiously cleaning around the house. Am I thinking about that too much as well?
I think so.
Maybe so.
Not, I don't know.
Terry now knocks for Braless Girl. It's time to babysit. Terry's gone round there. She reveals straight away that she is Braless. She's Braless throughout the whole movie. At not any point. She changes clothes and stuff, but she doesn't put on the bra. Terry, though, he just wants to watch TV.
Yeah.
See, in the Mutilator, the ladies are all turning down the men. And now we've got Terry, he's not interested in braless.
Well, I was wondering, now I might be looking too far into this, but I was thinking that, clearly sexual things from having grown up seeing his mum, like, dating all these men is his trigger. And so seeing his mum and her new fiancé making out is what triggered him, but he might very well be a virgin, even though he's acting like such a player, because we see this scene when he's doing basically everything in his power not to have sex with this girl who's throwing herself at him, and the one who was like his girlfriend, maybe not, she at one point, when she thinks she's talking to him, says, "Oh, you know, I've thought about it and I finally want to do it. I want you to have sex with me." So they've never had sex
That was a great
either. Bit. Yeah, but for my point.
Yeah, I know.
So he's
that is, you know, it's well picked up on. I think you are correct there. See, this movie is deeper than it seems at the surface. Certainly.
So the Virgin is the killer in this one.
So now that he's not having sex with Braless, his girlfriend now knocks for Terry.
Yeah.
But Todd shows up. Karen thinks that it's Terry, obviously. She looks at him because he's being a bit weird. She goes, "Oh, you're high. You always get really quiet when you're high. By the way, I really want to make love tonight."
Yeah.
Pretty much. But because it's Todd's like looking at her like... He says, "I've never kissed the girl before. You look nice." And then she's like, "Well, good
doofy vibes there.
Good luck with that." And she hightails it out of there.
Thing is, he looks better as Todd.
He does look better as Todd, yeah, more rock and roll.
He just it definitely suits his face more. And she, even though she thinks it's Terry, first of all, even if they're twins, I'm pretty sure if you've dated someone, you can see enough of a difference between people to be like, okay, no.
Well, it's the same person. Mr. Soper.
The actor, yeah, but not supposed to be in the movie. And second of all, she lets him be silent for like a really long time where she's getting all this stuff off her chest. She's like, "Well, come on now, you're kind of creeping me out. Just say something already."
But she's already said the reason why. It's because she thinks he's high and he gets quiet when he's high. That's why he can just stand there being a weirdo.
But would you throw this at him then when he's that high? Like, "I finally want to lose my virginity, let's do it."
Yeah.
That's probably not a great way to start.
He's only had a...
Well, not if he's so silent that he can't talk.
Maybe he does all his talking in the bedroom.
Reminds me of the Curb Your Enthusiasm thing, when it's just like, no more. No more.
Time to introduce the new characters now. Artie and his mate Greg. They're sitting around in a convertible, listening to rock music. Karen joins them in the car because she's just run away from Todd. Artie goes out with a baseball bat to see what it's all about. Possibly Greg. Artie or Greg, they're kind of like the same person. And then Artie's mate, Greg, makes a move on Terry's girlfriend, straight away. It's like,
on Karen, yeah.
And she wants it. So it's a good time to get in there. She's just mentioned.
And she talks to him because the guys are all really good friends. And she's like, "Oh, you know, I just don't know. I haven't spoken to Terry since we both got back from college. Like, can you just maybe ask him where we stand?" He's like, "Sure, I will. Now let me cop a feel."
Artie, Greg, Braless, and Karen, they all now go to a separate room on this complex. And the two lads are playing computer games while Braless is teaching innocent Karen how to drink tequila. So that's really going to loosen her up. It cuts back to Braless and Terry sitting watching television. And the reason they're there is they're babysitting. So now the mother of the child comes home with her date. And she has to pay him $10, which seems like a lot of money according to the way they react. And of course, the guy's trying to seal the deal, so he's like, "I'll pay."
Yeah.
So, that's so chivalrous of you.
Well, he's definitely punching in terms of just looks.
Yeah, absolutely.
So $10 here or there is kind of probably worth it for him.
Yeah. So now they've come home. Artie and his mate Greg, they see Terry with Braless outside. Mm-hmm. And they start saying to him, "Oh, your bro's around. We've heard that your brother's around and all your family are crazy." And Terry snaps just momentarily. He's like, "What, bro? I was only teasing you and your entire family, saying you're all mental."
Again, that's dated nowadays. No young people would talk like that anymore.
And because Braless hasn't got anywhere with Terry, Braless now moves on to Artie and his mate. She should take either of them.
I'll take anyone
Any of
at
them.
this point.
And Karen goes with them.
Yeah.
So they're all going to hang out now.
Fiesta.
Yeah. Maddie, she's hoovering now. She's frantically hoovering everywhere. Terry comes and warns her. And Todd, meanwhile, is putting Dr. Berman's chopped body back together and talking to it. He's a bit of a loon, isn't he?
Well, yeah, he clearly is.
The little girl who's supposed to be being babysat.
Even though he's not a killer.
She appears in the woods now. She runs in to Todd. She says that she's looking for her cat. Todd tells her to go home. Whatever you do, don't open the door because there's a bad man out here. So Artie and his mate Greg, they're now playing computer games while Braless is teaching Karen how to drink tequila.
Yeah, poor Braless. She just can't catch a break, can she? First of all, Terry's not putting out. And now she's got these lads back to her place and all they're interested in is playing games.
But now they've finished playing games.
Or are they?
Artie decides, enough of that, I'm going to make a move on Braless, and she's down. She is down for it, and then Karen joins.
She's been waiting for.
Karen joins his mate and starts playing innocent games while them two wander off to the bedroom.
Oh my god, you almost got it! Oh my god, I can totally beat you.
I can totally beat you, yeah. Yeah, the woman and her date, now, the baby's sitting a lot. The woman and her date are drinking, and she's trying to seduce him. And he's a bit of a nerd, isn't he? He might be a virgin, like Terry.
Well, he certainly isn't playing easy, is he? He's making her work for it and really just like...
She's like, I'm going to go and slip into something more comfortable. Doorbell goes. The date goes and answers it. Who could it be? But we're back into the bedroom with the woman. She's also a single mother. Right? So she's put on the sluttiest clothes she could find, bends over her child's crib and says... Mummy's gonna get us a rich daddy. So she's working overtime, isn't she?
Well, yeah. Now we figure out why she's with a man who's
she
not
needs
on
to
her
snag a man. When she returns, dressed like a whore, she finds her date's severed head hanging from the porch.
Yeah, it was like knocking on the door. Wasn't it?
Because she goes to answer the door from the knocking, and it's got a head like, ah. Yeah, good stuff. Karen and her lad, they're still playing computer games while now Braless and Art are getting it on. Instead of just getting straight down to sex, Braless, whose name is Andrea, and the bloke that she's with, who I'm thinking is Greg, they decide that we've got 2 minutes here, let's put on some prosthetic makeup.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll scare the other two.
That was so stupid. They do, like, obviously they're playing the audience for a second as well, because we don't see them make that decision or put the prosthetics on. We just see the other couple going to look for them, including Karen, and they stumble across Braless' body on the bed. And they're like, oh my god, she's been murdered. And then she's like, blah, with the seriously, like, hours-long looking prosthetics on. Yeah, we got you guys.
I mean, they are quick and efficient when it comes to putting on prosthetic makeup.
Absolutely, and that's way more fun than having sex.
You get the classic kind of 80s like, yes, it worked!
You wonder...
It worked, we did it!
You wonder what she's been doing. She's been, like, so horny for so long, and now all of a sudden she's like, actually, let's postpone it so that we can play a prank, and I'll put this prosthetics on.
Well, all these 80s moves and no one's getting laid. Todd appears now, because Andrea is showering naked, because they decided they were going to go off to a party. Now they're playing tennis. Right, so she had a shower. Now she decides to go and play tennis.
I think they still haven't had sex either.
They haven't had sex, no. Maybe that's why he's so frustrated. He's got to go and hit some balls about. Todd is spying on them. Greg has had enough tennis. He wants sex now. So he's laying on the floor of the tennis court. And Ma is talking on the phone to no one, it seems, at the same time.
I think she's talking to the operator trying to get something, but...
To talk about Todd. So now that Greg's been laying on the tennis court and Braless hasn't been giving it up, finally it's time to give it up, and they decide to... And all these grounds, all these rooms they could have gone to, they go to the swimming pool and they do it on a diving board. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. That seems like quite a good idea, actually.
No. That doesn't, like, it's so narrow, and it's going to be damp and pretty cold.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Rough.
They had these 10 acres. They could have gone anywhere.
But it looked good on camera.
But it did look good on camera. Yeah, it did.
So you do anything for the shot?
You know, like I said, it looked quite fun to do it on a diving board. I guess because you've just, vetoed that, we'll just stick with the sex swing. Terry comes across this diving board action. Decides not having that, so machete's out. They are both done off with. Artie and Karen are now walking through the woods, as you do. Artie and Karen are now walking through the woods. We know Karen wants it as well. She said out loud, "Why don't you do me now?" to Todd, thinking it was Terry. But now that Artie's getting his claws into her, she friend zones him. Oh!
Yeah, he's not happy.
He's not happy. And then to make it even worse, Terry shows up and he's like, "Hey, thanks for looking after my girl." Because he's just no threat to him whatsoever. I mean, talk about being kicked in the face when you're down.
But he was trying to make a move on his mate's girl, so equally. We've now got Artie in his car, and Todd shows up, and he's explaining to Artie, he's got his gun, I think. He's like, "Oh, don't make a move, I need to explain something to you." And he's explaining that Todd is innocent, and it was actually Terry all those years ago who murdered all those people, and he's in like big danger, and they need to go and stop him.
Good advice. Terry, I've now got Terry is feeling up Karen.
Yeah, he's
That
making his move finally.
That is that. So Artie and Terry, they end up like Todd appears, and Artie and Terry chase Todd into the woods, and they come across like a weapon stash. And as they think the danger's over because Todd's run away, Artie's left with Terry, and he knifes him in the neck.
No one believes Todd.
No, poor innocent sweet Todd.
His mum doesn't believe. Only the psychiatrist who was offed earlier was the only one who believed him.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why she's a doctor. She can tell. Karen's walking around outside now. She runs into Terry. He's got his bloody weapon, and he chases her through the woods to some kind of like Giorgio Moroder type score from Scarface. Because again, this is the 80s. And she comes across all the dead corpses then, much like in The Mutilator.
Yeah. This bit was so, like, there was so much silliness in it, though, because Terry at this point, when he's chasing around, he keeps doing these little, like, jokey type things. Like, he gets one of the corpses to goose her. And then when she runs away screaming, he's like, "Aw, you're no fun." And just keeps saying little bits like that. It would have been so much better if they just... A bit
like Ralph and everybody in The Mutilator walking around by themselves and just saying things out loud to nobody.
It just made it... Yeah. No.
That's not cranberry sauce.
Oh my god, yeah, I forgot. I need to get you a t-shirt with "That's not cranberry sauce."
Yeah.
Because Terry kept saying that. He kept like taking a sample of the blood from his machete and stuff and be like, "That's not cranberry sauce."
Because it's a Thanksgiving movie.
And he says it to Karen, "It's not cranberry sauce."
Yeah, I mean, they really run with it, didn't they?
Do you think they used cranberry sauce?
No, clearly they didn't. It's not cranberry sauce. While she's running around, she also knocks on the door where the girls are looking for a cat. But the little girl won't let her in because Todd's told her, don't open the door to anybody. So she gets into a different room. It's the mum it's her mum, I think, the little kid's mum, because she's been babysitting.
It's not. The mum has a baby. The kid has nothing to do with it.
Oh, yeah, you're correct. So she gets into a different room. She hears the crying baby.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Terry is butchering the mother. Yeah, so Karen takes the baby. Todd appears then. He tries to help Karen with the baby, but she punches him in the bollocks.
Yeah, she doesn't know who to trust.
Yeah, it's always good though, that, isn't it? A good defence.
Bollocks punch. Absolutely. It will get you
a swift
a few
one
seconds.
to the nads. Yeah. Is always good. And the high octane score, she now runs away with the baby. Maddie, she's still been on the phone and hanging around the fridge this whole time. She finds a bloody sweater in the bin. And it's almost like she recognises that it is Terry's. And then she panics. She goes running around the complex, and she comes to where Brad has previously been killed with his hand chopped off and all that. And the camera, it shows Brad at his work table, and his stumpy hand is like against his chin like that with his other good hand. Maddie's behind at the glass door going, Brad, let me in. And then just opens the door herself after all this frantic banging on the perspex glass.
Oh, I can only imagine that had to be direction from like the director or something, not the actor, because this was the one point in her performance where I was like, even she can't sell this. This was so
it's too stupid. And she starts walking towards Brad, who's got his back to her. As she catches up to him, she grabs hold of him. His stump falls down. His head falls on the table. His cranium splits open. We see the inside of his brains there for a split second. Nice gore in this. So now Karen has taken the baby to the pool.
Yeah.
And she's just sitting by the side of the pool. Terry walks in with his machete and just starts boinging up and down on the diving board. Because we've got a diving board. Let's use it. Let's have people have sex on it. Let's have the killer jump up and down on it. Why not? Karen then sees more dead bodies. Todd shows up. It's a showdown between Terry and Todd's like Mortal Kombat showdown between bros. And it ends up Terry gets the better of Todd, chucks him into the pool, but then Maddie mum shows up and she blows away Terry because she's realised, Terry, because I found his jumper, he's the one that's been offing people
actually also
all this time,
we had
her
Terry
own
and Todd
son
in the pool, and Terry was trying to drown Todd, and he's half drowned, and Karen's just at the edge of the pool like, Todd, give me your hand. Come over here. I was like, wouldn't you jump in and save someone who's drowning?
It's the 80s. Women can't save men.
stupid.
They can't
but yeah,
do it.
Mum comes in, blows away Terry.
She then embraces Todd in an emotionally charged scene. Then again, they're both doing great.
Mm-hmm.
For the caliber of movie this is, their acting performance is really superb. We know we mentioned it, but especially here.
She's taking him into her bosom and saying,
Yeah.
you know, you're a good boy, no one's ever going to hurt you again. I've got you.
She's like, Todd is gone. He's gone. And then Terry, who she thinks is Terry, says, I'm Todd. I'm Todd! And he goes up against the wall, he keeps repeating himself, and then Ma flips and she's like, I'm Todd. I'm Todd. Because she doesn't want Todd, even though he's the innocent one. She knew all along that it was Terry that was killing people. Because even when they're embracing, she's like, it's just gonna be me and you now. No one's ever gonna come between us. Not even that nasty little Todd. Poor Todd.
I know.
Yeah.
Now his whole family is gone.
But now, not much time to be sad though. So it's back to boom, 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 high octane finishing credits.
Yeah.
Really good film, I thought.
So I was thinking, because obviously almost everyone else died, but because Karen survived,
Yeah.
she would be able to give testimony and at least Todd would be cleared.
He would be cleared.
But considering how scarred he was already, I mean, even though he wasn't the one who did the original killing, you know, he was definitely not right in the head either. So...
Do you think he's going to get his first kiss from Karen, though? They're going to be a happy family. She's got the baby. Todd's finally released. He wants to kiss a lady. He's already said to her, you look nice. So, there is a potential for a blended family there, isn't there?
Possibly.
All happy days. Yeah, Blood Rage was good. Blood Rage is the best title out of all of them. And yeah, considering that this one doesn't really have, as far as I'm aware, and I know a little bit about horror movies, I hadn't really heard of this one and doesn't really have a cult status even, whereas Mutilator does. And I thought this was levels above Mutilator.
I would watch this one again.
I would watch this one again as well, yeah. Even without any vagina stabbings or anything like that, like you get in Mutilator. But good. Was it a good return to the 80s?
Yes.
Yeah, it was.
Finally, because the previous two films I was a bit let down by. And this one was absolutely the most entertaining.
And I have no idea what we're going to watch next week.